Chapter 7. Interdependence on Environment. The world around us is our environment. It includes everything: the air, the soil, the natural resources we are gifted with. Our Earth is the only planet where life is possible. The surface of the Earth has two parts, land and water. The Earth is surrounded by air. This air around the Earth is called atmosphere. All living beings need land, water and air to survive. Various kinds of plants and animals live on Earth. Some of these live on land, whereas some live in water. Biotic and abiotic components. All kinds of living beings, humans, animals, and plants on the Earth are called biotic components of the environment. All kinds of non-living things, land, water, sunlight, air, etc., are called abiotic components of the environment. We should know the fact that the biotic components of the environment cannot survive without abiotic components. For example, plants are biotic components of the environment. To make food for themselves, plants need abiotic components like land, air, water, and sunlight. Take two potted plants A and B. If you water the potted plant daily and do not water the potted plant, what will happen to it? The plant in the A pot remains green, while the plant in B pot will become dry. We learn from this activity that plants depend on the environment for survival. Like plants, other living beings also need abiotic components to survive. For these, they too depend on their environment. Look at the given picture. There are many kinds of plants and animals in it. This is also the home of many animals. Many animals like cow, buffalo, goat, zebra, camel, giraffe, deer, etc., depend on plants for their food, whereas some animals like the lion, wolf, tiger, etc., depend on other animals for their food. Let us think. The tiger's food is deer, and the deer's food is grass. If there is no grass in the forest, the deer will not be able to live there. In such a situation, what will the tiger eat? Fact zone. The environment is made up of both biotic and abiotic components, the food chain. The process of one organism eating the other and getting eaten up by another organism forms a chain. It is termed as food chain. A food chain starts with a producer plant and ends with a consumer. The plants or the producers are eaten up by the flesh eaters as their food. Big and strong animals make small and weak animals their prey for food. This is a circle of interdependence of food among different organisms. In this food chain, grass is eaten up by deer. The deer becomes the prey of the lion. Thus, the food chain indicates the interdependence of each level on the other for its requirement. Energy flow in a food chain. As we see in the food chain, every living being needs energy. This food chain transfers energy from one living being to another. This is called energy flow. The sun gives energy to the earth. It is the only and the ultimate source of energy. Plants take up this energy to prepare their own food. Then this energy is passed on from one organism to another. The role of decomposers begins in the end when animals and plants die. Balance in nature. The balance on earth is maintained by nature through the food chain. But remember, if a single link of the food chain is broken, the whole balance gets disturbed. For example, if there is enough population of plants or grass, primary consumers or grass eaters will increase. Thus, the flesh eaters, like lions and tigers, will also have plenty of food. But if the growth of plants gets reduced, the population of grass eaters will also go down, and so will happen to the population of flesh eaters. We, the human beings, will also be affected by this. Thus, the balance in nature will be disturbed. The law of nature maintains the balance of each kind of population very well, but it would be unwise to do anything which may lead to imbalance in nature. It is necessary to maintain proper balance between the biotic and the abiotic components of the environment. Let us now find out how the balance in the environment can get disturbed. The increase in the population has increased man's needs. People need more land for housing and agriculture. To meet these needs, they start clearing the land by cutting down trees in the forest. Fact zone. You may have experienced the ill effects of fumes from motor vehicles on a crowded road. It becomes difficult to breathe due to the smoke from vehicles. If we breathe in this harmful smoke for a long time, it may cause many diseases. The cutting of forest is called deforestation. Deforestation destroys the homes of the wild animals. Deforestation disturbs the balance of nature. Not only the forest give food and shelter to the living beings, but they also control climate. They help to have good rainfall, prevent soil erosion, and control flood. Many people hunt birds and wild animals for pleasure. Due to this, several species of birds and wild animals have disappeared from the earth. The number of some others have reduced, and they have become endangered species. The tiger is our national animal, but the number of tigers in India has reduced drastically. Wildlife is a very important part of our life. Forests provide home to vast variety of wildlife, animals, and plants have a strong relationship with their environment. Certain living organisms can survive only in a specific kind of environment. When a forest is destroyed, a large number of animals are endangered or become extinct. Due to the extinction or reduction of the number of any species of birds or wild animals, the balance of our environment gets disturbed. This imbalance has an adverse effect on the life of other plants and animals. Some of the animals are endangered like the tiger, great Bharat one-horned rhinoceros, Bharatiya elephant, musk deer, leopard, Bharatiya wild ass, lion, Himalayan brown bear, etc. Fact zone. The tiger is our national animal, but the number of tigers in Bharat has reduced drastically. Wild sanctuaries and parks. Our government has made many wildlife and bird sanctuaries where all the wild animals and birds are fully protected. The Wildlife Protection Act 1972 governs the conservation and preservation of the endangered species both inside and outside the forest area. Special forest guards who do not allow hunting of animals to anybody protect these species. Every year, the authorities count the population of each species to keep a watch on them. Wildlife and bird sanctuaries and parks provide the wild animals space, which is similar to their natural habitat. The birds and animals in these sanctuaries and parks also help in increasing their number through reproduction. Fact zone. To maintain the balance in environment and protect wildlife, hunting of wild animals and birds is legally prohibited in our country. Some important wildlife sanctuaries and national parks in our country are listed below. Kanha National Park, Madhya Pradesh, Corbett National Park, Uttarakhand, Hazaribagh National Park, J. Jharkhand, Kaziranga Wildlife Sanctuary, Assam, Ranthambore National Park, Rajasthan, Periyar Sanctuary, Kerala, Madumalai Sanctuary, Tamil Nadu, Bandipur Sanctuary, Karnataka, Ghana Bird Sanctuary, Rajasthan, Jera. Sanctuary National Park, Gajara, Fact Zone. We also organize several kinds of programs for the protection of the environment. Van Mahotsav and the celebration of Environment Day are such kinds of programs. Concept map, environment, biotic, and a biotic component. Balance in nature, food chain, wild sanctuaries, and parks. Energy flowing, a food chain.